Hello friends, today I'll discuss about tan delta test and its different modes, that is GST, that is a grounded specimen test, UST, that is ungrounded specimen test, and GST guard, that is grounded specimen test with guard mode. So in this video we'll discuss about these three test method of the tan delta test. So before discussing about the three methods of the tan delta test, let us discuss about the fundamental of the tan delta test for any specimen. For any specimen that can be represented as the capacitor in parallel with a resistor. So in case of pure insulator, the only capacitive current exists, and if the insulation quality of this insulator decreases, then there will be a increased amount of resistive current. So uh, to discuss about the tan delta, so we have actually represent a specimen with the capacitor in represent with a resistor. So for a tan delta test, a voltage E is applied across the specimen between high voltage point to the ground point, or maybe the tan delta point if available for the specimen. So IC is the current, that is the capacitive current, and IR is the resistive current. For pure insulator, there will be only IC, and IC will be quadrature in respect of the voltage applied, and there will be no IR, that is no resistive current. And uh, since there is no ideal case, there will be some amount of resistive current. So IT is the resultant current. Resultant current is the vector sum of the IC and IR. So here theta is the power factor angle, and delta is the loss angle. So tan delta can be represented as the tan delta is equal to IR by IC. So here IT is the specimen total current, and IC is the capacitive or quadrature current of the total current. IR is the resistive component of the current, or in phase component of the total current. More the IR, bad quality of the insulation of the specimen is. So CP is the equivalent parallel capacitance of the insulation specimen, and RP is the equivalent parallel resistance of the insulation specimen. So tan delta can be represented as the IR by IC. That is the ratio of the resistive current to the capacitive current. And power factor can be defined as the cosine between angle between uh, voltage and current, that is cos theta. Cos theta is equal to cosine of 90 minus delta, that is equal to sine delta, can be equal to IR divided by IT, that is the resistive component of the current divided the total current. So three methods for tan delta test are UST, GST, and GST guard mode. So UST means ungrounded specimen test, that is protein measurement system, and GST means grounded specimen test. It is also called the grounded measurement system, and GST guard, that is grounded specimen test guard. So grounded measurement system with some current not measured, or uh, it is guarded. So these are three methods of the tan delta test. So we'll discuss about these three methods with the example of the two winding transformer. So here the tan delta test procedure for a delta star transformer has been shown. So in order to tan delta test, we have to sort the red, yellow, and blue phase of the HV side of the terminal together, and HV lead is connected to the high voltage side of the winding. Again, in the LV side winding, LV side is star connected, so we have to sort the red, yellow, and blue phase with the neutral, and LV lead is connected to the side, and ground lead is connected with the body or ground path. So here three capacitance is formed. One capacitance is capacitance between HV side winding and LV side winding, and another capacitance is between HV side winding and earth, and another capacitance is LV side winding to earth. So we denote the capacitance between HV side winding and LV side winding as CHL, and capacitance between HV side winding and earth is CH, and capacitance between LV side winding and earth is CL. So by these three methods, that is UST, GST and GST guard, we will measure these three capacitance value. So three methods in between three methods, first method is GST. So in case of grounded specimen test, the high voltage cable is connected to the high voltage side, and ground is connected to the low voltage cable. So by means of the GST, that is a grounded specimen test, we can measure the CH and CHL, that is the sum of the CH and CHL. Again, another method is GST with guard, that is the low voltage lead which is connected to the low voltage winding. The current through CHL will be eliminated and or guarded, and only the current through the CH will be recorded, and therefore we can measure the CH, that is for this GST with guard. And another method is UST. UST here, high voltage lead is connected to the high voltage side, and low voltage lead is connected to the low voltage winding, and we can measure the CHL, that is the capacitance between high voltage winding and low voltage winding. So first method is GST ground. So GST ground, the high voltage lead is connected to the high voltage side of the winding, and low voltage lead is connected to the low voltage side of the winding, and ground lead is connected to the ground path. So we can see the current injected from the set will be passing. There are two paths actually. One is from high voltage winding to the ground, and another is high voltage winding to the low voltage winding. So both the current is recorded in this method. So current through capacitance which is formed due to the high voltage winding and low voltage winding, and high voltage winding to earth, both are measured. So in this method, the capacitance which is measured is CH plus CHL. So next method is the GST guard mode. The test arrangement is same as previous, that is high voltage lead is connected to the high voltage side, and low voltage lead is connected to the LV side, and ground lead is connected to the ground path. So here the current which is injected from the set, here there are two paths. One is from the through the high voltage side winding to the capacitance path to the ground, and it is returned to the set, and another path is the high voltage side to the low voltage side, and it is returned to the low voltage lead to the set. Here, since it is a GST guard mode, and it is guarded the LV lead current, and therefore it only record the current which is flowing from high voltage winding to the ground, and therefore it only measure the capacitance between high voltage winding to ground. So in GST guard, here only CH is measured. So another method is the ungrounded specimen test or UST mode. So the test arrangement is shown in this figure. That is the HV lead is connected to the HV side winding, and LV lead is connected to the LV side winding, and ground lead is connected to the ground on earth. So the current which is flowing from the set, here there are two paths from the high voltage winding to the ground, and another high voltage winding to the low voltage winding, and it is came back from the low voltage lead. So since it is a UST mode, it automatically eliminates the current which is flowing from the or through the ground path. So it only measures the current through the high voltage winding to the low voltage winding. Therefore, it in this method only it to measure the capacitance between high voltage winding and low voltage winding. So it measured the CHL. So this is how, by means of the three method, we can measure the different capacitance which is found in two winding transformer. So friends, if you like my video, then do subscribe my channel and press bell button for notification of videos to be uploaded in future. Thank you for watching this video.